How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. My name is Jake. As you can see behind me, just dumped off a nice load of red maple logs. It's a tree we took down, I don't know, like a week or so ago, I guess. It's like a 5 stem. It's only like one piece with a little bit of rot, pretty straight for the most part, pretty crotch free, so it should make some good firewood. There really aren't too many like nasty crotchy pieces. That is the only rot, and it does not go up the whole log. As you can see, it's some ambrosia maple. Like, people like this stuff for like turning and woodworking projects and stuff. And I know it's inevitable. I always get comments on all the videos when, you know, basically no matter what type of log I'm cutting up, oh, you could have sold that to a sawmill, or that's such a waste. Somebody could have used that to make X or Y, or somebody could have turned it on their lathe or whatever. And yes, guys, I realize if you're watching this video, I understand that there are more products to be made that could potentially yield higher profits than firewood. However, it takes a lot of time and effort and advertising and meeting with people and processing and all different things, all of which I have no interest in doing, in order to turn these logs into a finished ambrosia maple bowl that somebody turned on a lathe and they'll sell for $100. And at the end of the day, if they're gonna sell that bowl for $100, or let's even say $300, and I get $100 out of that piece of wood, you know, months down the road, I might as well just turn it into firewood, because I probably would get paid quicker, you know, doing it that way. So yeah, I understand some people get a little upset that we're turning these logs into firewood, but I really don't have the resources to turn it into anything else, nor do I have the inclination to try to turn it into something else. If some of you guys are somewhat local to southwestern Connecticut and you want a certain type of piece of wood or something like that, I'd be more than happy to help supply you with that, or help procure it for you. But I'm not in the business of going out trying to find people to turn this raw, you know, material of logs into a final finished product of whatever. So that's kind of my take on that. Rant over. I got the Kubota excavator warming up over here. I need to grease it. It's been a little bit. It's been so cold that I've kind of avoided greasing it. I haven't been using the machine all that much because it's been so cold. We haven't been doing much production, but today it is a little bit warmer than freezing, so I'm gonna attempt to try and grease it. Hopefully none of the, you know, grease fittings are frozen up or anything. Well, I got a couple fittings that aren't taking grease, and a couple, or like one really, that just needs some replacing. So I got to run up to the house, get the container of all the different grease fittings, and then hopefully we can get those swapped out. All right, got the machine all greased up. I also went ahead and tensioned both of the tracks. I had noticed that they had slacked out a little bit over the past couple months. So we are all good to go. I replaced 2 grease fittings with little to no issue. I did lose my 7mm socket somewhere. It like fell off and I must have kicked it. So if any of you guys see it, point it out, drop a comment down below. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these logs stacked up. All right, got all those logs stacked up. Didn't even take but 10 minutes. The excavator was slipping and sliding around on the ice here. These cold days are supposed to continue for the next couple of days. And then I think this weekend, like Saturday, it's supposed to warm up to like 37, 38 degrees, which should be interesting because I'm supposed to take the excavator out on a little job to dig a footing for a addition, like foundation, that this guy wants me to dig. It's, I don't know, I think it's like about a 40-foot long trench. So we'll have to see what happens because it could be a lot of ice and it could be a lot of slop with it being above freezing. But got those logs stacked up, slowly starting to grow the pile back up. I've been bringing back quite a few loads myself in the dump trailer. I think this is probably like the 4th or maybe 5th. Probably bring back another tomorrow. I'm gonna leave the trailer on the truck and we'll just keep stacking up, preparing and stockpiling, you know, for next year. All right, guys, we are back here the next day. It is a beautiful day. It's getting a late start. I actually took the day off work today. The baby has been giving Sarah and I a run for our money here. We've been pretty exhausted and we both just need a day where we help each other, help ourselves. And by that, I mean watching the baby and giving the other a chance to sleep. So it is early afternoon here. It's a beautiful day. First day above freezing in a while. And as you can see, I am up on the roof. It is, let's see, February 21st. I haven't cleaned out the wood stove flex pipe since the beginning of the burning season. So I figured I'd take the opportunity. The stove is burned pretty well out. There's some hot coals in there, but nothing crazy. And we're gonna get this puppy cleaned out. So this is what our rain cap looks like. As you can see, not looking too bad. I mean, granted, there's a little bit of creosote buildup there, but not a ton. I see a little bit on the inside of the flex pipe, but I can still see the ribs. So let's get this cap off and we'll check, see how bad it really is. All right, we're looking in there. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but definitely have some creosote buildup. Nothing too crazy, about the normal amount. You know, no huge chunks. It's all pretty fine stuff. So we're gonna get that cleaned out, and then we'll go down to the clean out door down below and see how much creosote we actually got. Okay, back down on the ground. Let's open up this trap door, see what we got. Okay, not too bad. That is about what I normally have after, like, you know, this amount of time, or like even a full year. Not a lot of creosote whatsoever. I'm gonna sweep it up, put it in the bucket, and we can see how much it actually is. Okay, all sweeped out, nice and clean. Close that up. Come over here, look at the Home Depot bucket. Here is my finger at the top of the creosote. So we got about, you know, I'd say 2 inches, which is right on par. So not all that bad considering we have been burning 24/7 since about mid-October. That just goes to show that burning high quality, well-seasoned firewood at appropriate, adequate, hotter temperatures a couple times a day to, you know, kind of purge out all that creosote. You know, it won't really burn over that, you know, 250, I think it is, degree mark on your, you know, chimney pipe. So you want to make sure you're burning adequately hot enough and not just letting those logs, you know, sit there and smolder. But having well-seasoned firewood is a huge contributing factor to small creosote amounts such as that. All right, I finally got some of these bait stations everybody's been telling me to get for the mice problem out in the woodyard. I got 12 of them. Might be a little overkill, but we'll see. I also got some bait, so I'm gonna put these out, see how they do. Let's place second one down in here. I put one up to the right of the barn doors underneath my wood pile there. I'm just gonna keep placing them. All right, next spot is in the boat here. As you can see, we're inside all wrapped up, but I put a door on it. Evidence of mice down yonder. Evidence of mice right there. Always scared to open up the cabin. I guess it's not looking terrible. Definitely has a smell to it. But put one of these bait stations. I don't know. I don't really know how I'm assuming they're getting in from back there. So I guess I'll just put the bait station here and hope for the best. First one out in the wood yard, base of this big sugar maple tree. This is kind of over on the edge where I stack the firewood. Hopefully that's a good spot. Okay, all 12 of the bait stations are out, and I used up, I'd say, about 2/3 of this 4-pound, you know, bait thing. 64 blocks. I put 3 on each. Now, for those of you that might say, you got to be careful with this stuff with animals and everything. First of all, the dogs stay up in the fenced-in area, if you can see up there. So I didn't put any of these within the fenced-in area where they would be able to access them. And as far as wildlife is concerned, you know, obviously I'm not seeking to kill, you know, predators, i.e. owls and hawks and, you know, stuff like that. I did choose this bait because according to the reviews, it's 0.0005 diphenol or whatever is the active ingredient, which is essentially the poison. And that stuff apparently is less fatal to other animals, you know, eating it down the road. Like, let's say I kill some mice or some rats, whatever, and then a hawk comes to eat said mouse, it's less fatal to them. But, you know, that being said, hawks and, you know, predators really don't go after dead animals. I killed like 5 or 6 mice in one of these job boxes a couple weeks ago, and I left them out in the middle of the asphalt millings for like a week to see if anything would eat them, kind of as a test to see if something would just eat 5 dead mice sitting out there. And I see hawks out here all the time, and nothing touched it. I actually forgot that they were there, ran them over with the mini skid steer, and created a whole nother mess for myself. So the research that I've done, typically birds of prey and stuff like that go after live animals, not dead ones. So hopefully that's in my favor. But you know what? At the end of the day, I can't be spending $1,500 to $2,000 to replace a wiring harness because of a mouse. And if, you know, unfortunately, if it does kill a predator, you know, I don't know. It's a tough situation. Let me know what you guys would do down in the comments below. But I've tried everything. I'm, you know, using this as a last resort. I went around and put them all in spots like this, kind of like propped up against a tree or something where, you know, like a mouse might kind of run. I think they typically, you know, run from like cover to cover, you know, for protection. So I put all 12 out. I got one over here by the Eastonmade. I got one over by the job box over there. I have one in the corner over there, one in the corner down yonder behind the totes. So hopefully that'll do the trick. All right, just came back out here next day, day after putting out these bait traps, and I put one right next to this tree. And as you can see, it moved itself over here. And there is pink, I don't know if you can tell, there is pink dusting all over this, leading out from the trap, or from the bait station. And those things have definitely been nibbled on. So I'd say we got some action out here. I'm gonna put this thing back, but I checked on the one over by that Joe box over there, and that one had a trail of, you know, pink dusting coming out of the entrance. We're gonna go over here, check out this one. This one has been moved as well. I did have it up against the tree again, and you can see that there is little pink flecks coming out. And look at all that stuff in there. It's been chewed off. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but they've definitely been chewed. So I'd say these things are working. Let's go check the rest of them. Okay, I'm over by this big sugar maple tree, kind of in the corner of the wood yard over here. Not seeing much activity by this one, at least, you know, I'm not seeing any pink dusting like those other ones. Seem to be pretty high activity, but you know, it's only been one day. I'm actually kind of surprised that those other ones got hit as hard as they did, as fast as they did. I think that just goes to show how much mice we have out here in the wood yard. So I'm pretty happy with that result. I mean, in a 24-hour period for 3 of the bait stations that are out here, you know, so far in the wood yard, to be pretty darn active, it seems like, is good. So we'll definitely, you know, keep them out here and keep filling them up. And some of the stations that don't seem to get any activity, I'll just simply move them. I did put 2 up the hill where we keep the tractor, and then there's 2 out by the International and 1 by my house. There's a total of 12, you know, so the fact that we got some activity though is a good thing.